This video is brought to you by True Tales of Buried Treasure, the largest collection of old treasure magazines in the West. On our website, you can search for individual treasure stories by region, or buy our original magazines themselves. To pay us a visit, please click on the link in the description. Enjoy. One of the richest silver deposits ever found in the United States may have been discovered in Nevada in 1849 by 3 emigrants en route to California. This mysterious find, which has never been seen since, has become one of the great lost mine legends of the Old West. Alan Harding and 2 companions were on foot, traveling to California, when they left the emigrant trail one morning to hunt for small game in the barren wilderness of the Black Rock Range, now located in southwest Humboldt County, Nevada. Their discovery of silver came just a short distance from the Applegate-Lassen Cutoff, an alternate route to California's goldfields. This trail led emigrants northwest toward the Mount Shasta region, avoiding the treacherous 40-mile desert that lay along the path to Sacramento. The Humboldt Trail, a major emigrant route, ended near present-day Imlay, Nevada. The Applegate-Lassen Cutoff branched off from Lassen's Meadow, a large natural resting spot with abundant hay. After traveling 300 miles down the Humboldt River, weary emigrants often stopped here to rest, cut hay, and fatten their livestock before continuing their journey across 2 forbidding deserts. The 40-mile desert to the south was a feared stretch, often compared to Africa's Great Desert. The trail was strewn with the remains of broken wagons, abandoned gear, and the skeletons of animals. To the northwest, the Black Rock Desert presented a similar challenge, but Peter Larsen, the proprietor of a trading post, convinced many emigrants to take his route, claiming it was shorter. In reality, it was neither shorter nor less dangerous, as hostile Native American tribes often attacked the wagon trains. The Applegate-Lassen Cutoff wound its way from Rye Patch Meadows, past Rabbit Springs, and stretched across the Black Rock Desert, named for the towering black basalt outcrop at the southern end of the Black Rock Range. Early maps sometimes referred to these mountains as the Harlequin Hills. The Black Rock Range itself is about 45 miles long and between 2.5 to 14 miles wide. The trail skirted the Rocky Cape at the southern tip of the mountains and continued through the desert between the Calico Mountains to the west and the Black Rock Range to the east. Pahute Peak, located beyond Mud Meadows about 24 miles north, was the next landmark the emigrants sought. Upon reaching it, they turned west toward High Rock Lake, making their way through High Rock Canyon and onward to the Mount Shasta region of California. Lost somewhere between the Black Rock Outcrop and Mud Meadows, in the rugged mountains east of the trail, lies what could be one of the world's most incredible treasures, the Black Rock Silverado. It was during the summer of 1849 when Alan Harding and his companions, nearly destitute, stumbled upon the silver deposit while hunting. The trio had chosen the Applegate-Lassen route after hearing at Lassen's Meadow that it was shorter. The wagon train they were traveling with made camp one night between the southern tip of the Black Rock Range and Mud Meadows. Short on supplies, the 3 men set out early the next morning to hunt in the nearby mountains. Fortunately for them, the Paiutes, a warring Native American tribe, were not a threat, having been confined by the cavalry to the mountains farther north. After an unsuccessful morning of hunting, Harding and his companions turned back to rejoin their camp. But before they returned, they made a discovery that would spark the enduring legend of the Black Rock Silverado, a treasure still lost to this day. On their way back to the trail, the men passed through a wide, deep gully carved into the mountainside by heavy rains. Embedded in the bank near the bottom of the ravine, they noticed large, irregularly shaped chunks of a metallic substance. Curious, they scrambled down into the gully to examine their find. Scattered all over the bottom of the gulch and embedded in the sides of the wash were pieces of white metal, ranging in size from tiny kernels to huge chunks. Picking up several of the pieces, the men were astonished by their weight. Some easily weighed 30, 40, or even 50 pounds. Harding selected one large chunk and, using his knife, cut into it. The metal was surprisingly soft and malleable, and where the blade sliced through, the exposed surface gleamed with a bright silvery sheen. Initially, they thought it might be lead, but after closer inspection, they concluded that it was native silver. Excited by their discovery, they explored the area further. The gulch appeared to cut through a massive silver vein, with the metal visible on both sides of the ravine. Based on their observations, they estimated that there were wagon loads of silver, like a real-life Aladdin's cave. Thrilled, the men brought a 25-pound chunk of the metal back to camp, eager to share the news. However, their fellow emigrants were unimpressed. When the men asked the wagon drivers to transport the heavy metal to California, they were met with flat refusals. Harding even tried to appeal to their sympathies, pointing out that he and his companions were on foot and couldn't carry the extra weight. But one grizzled driver simply retorted, "I wouldn't take it in my wagon if it were pure gold." Realizing they couldn't haul the silver across the desert and through High Rock Canyon, Harding melted down a piece of the metal into a small button before they continued their journey. When the three men finally reached Shasta, California, they showed the silver button to local miners, recounting how and where they had found it. The miners confirmed that it was indeed silver, but they were focused on finding gold and had little interest in silver. One miner quipped that he wouldn't go to the Black Rock country, even if it were made entirely of silver. In 1850, Harding sent the silver button to an assayer in San Francisco. Unfortunately, it was lost in a fire that swept through the city that year. Discouraged, Harding eventually settled in Petaluma, California, where he met Frederick Alberding, a recent arrival from the Rogue River country. The two became close friends, and Harding shared the story of the Black Rock Silverado with Alberding. Upon hearing the tale, Alberding became excited, having heard a similar story while in Rogue River from one of the original discoverers. Convinced that the Silverado was real, Alberding helped Harding form a company to search for the lost silver deposit. The group included several notable individuals, such as M.S. Thompson, A.B. Jameson, Al Whiteside, Charles Humphreys, Major James Pingley, Holt Fine, and R. McGuire. Thompson would later go on to become a Nevada state senator. In July 1858, 9 years after the original discovery, the group set out for Humboldt County, Nevada. Upon reaching a location between Black Rock and Mud Meadows, where Harding believed they had camped years before, they began their search. The team methodically explored the mountains east of the Emigrant Trail, searching every ledge, gully, and crevice for the lost silver. For 2 years, the company scoured the area, sometimes with as many as 70 people in the search party. However, the silver seemed to have vanished as if by magic. Thompson speculated that the heavy rains back in 1849 had washed away the earth covering the vein, and over the intervening years, storms had filled in the gulch with debris, burying the silver once again. Despite their efforts, the treasure remained elusive, and Thompson eventually called off the search in 1860, disheartened by the mysterious disappearance of the Black Rock Silverado. In 1860, Harding, Thompson, and Jameson were exploring the Black Rock country when word reached them that Major Ormsby had been defeated by the Paiutes. The local tribes were reportedly laying waste to the countryside, prompting the treasure seekers to leave and head to Honey Lake Valley to help protect settlers. After the Paiute uprising was subdued, none of the original group ever returned to the Black Rock country in search of the Silverado. In the years that followed, the legend of the Black Rock Silverado captivated prospectors. Many adventurers ventured into the area, scouring it for the rich silver vein Harding had discovered. However, most returned empty-handed, and those who did bring back samples were met with disappointment. When assayed, these specimens were found to be silver chlorides, iodides, cyanides, bromides, and nitrates, not the native silver they had hoped for. Several mines were opened in the Black Rock region, but they often closed due to the difficulty in processing the ores. In 1867, the assayer and surveyor of Humboldt County issued a report explaining that much of the trouble stemmed from a misunderstanding of the nature of the ore. He stated, "The ores are true salts of silver and gold, which have already undergone an important step in the process of reduction within the earth. They appear as chlorides, iodides, bromides, cyanides, and nitrates. To attempt to chloridize a chloride is sheer folly, yet this is what many miners have tried to do." At the time, gold was the primary target for most prospectors, and few paid attention to the assayer's analysis of the silver ores. The methods required to extract the silver were costly and inefficient, leading to the failure of many mining ventures in the Black Rock country. Mines that opened after 1867 soon shut down, either due to the poor quality of the ore or because the deposits were quickly exhausted. According to the Nevada Bureau of Mines, the ore deposits in the Black Rock Range are confined to areas of pre-volcanic rock, with veins localized by faults that cut through pre-tertiary rock. If Harding's treasure of native silver exists, it would likely be found in such geologic terrain. Despite the extensive searches carried out more than a century ago, Harding's original discovery has never been relocated, and its whereabouts remain a mystery. Though it is believed to lie hidden somewhere in the Black Rock Range, several miles east of Harding's old campsite along the Emigrant Trail, the silver has never been unearthed. The treasure continues to sleep, its legend alive but its location unknown. Will the sleeping silver giant ever be reawakened? Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the original article or purchase the magazine from which it was taken, please check out our website, truetalesofburiedtreasure.com.